Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So every so often, I like to go into weird topics or interesting topics. I find weird and interesting for the most part to be the same thing. So in this case, I think I have a good one. If Hillary Clinton got elected, would she have opened up the UFO files? And two, should she have opened up the UFO files? So at various points in the Podesta emails, there was a lot of talk about UFOs. Now, we know that Podesta had been engaged in trying to get the release of the files. He said it himself. He sent a tweet saying, like I said, it was an earth-shattering tweet, essentially saying the biggest regret of my career is not being able to release the UFO files. Something like that. Podesta was in her husband's administration, Obama's administration, and it was going to be in her administration. That was before his emails got hacked. But would she have did it is the question. Let's hear her talk to Jimmy. Come on.
UFOs in Area 51, and if you looked at this, if I was president, that's the first thing I do. I go right into those files and see what was going on.
Right.
And he said that he did do that.
Yes.
And then he didn't find anything.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, why not?
Right? And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Unexplained aerial phenomena, really?
Yeah, UAP. That's the latest nomenclature.
I like the old one. I like UFO. I don't know why.
Well, I think we can use them interchangeably, but I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible. If there's nothing there, let's tell people there's nothing there.
But if there is something there?
Well, if there is something there, unless it's a threat of national security, I think we ought to share it with the public.
Well, what?
That's awesome. So I know that looks like it was just a random question by Jimmy Kimmel. That wasn't a random question. In the Podesta emails, it showed Hillary Clinton was very interested, her team. I think it was almost for like a year, of them wanting somebody to ask her the question. She wanted to answer this question. This specific question is a question she wanted to answer. And I have a hard time believing that she would have asked for this question if she didn't intend on actually doing something about it when she got in office. This second part. UAPs, unexplained aerial phenomena. So that's politics. And it's actually pretty good politics. Now, if I say UFO to you, you're going to have a bunch of different ideas. Anything from the time you were born to the time right now. That amalgam of information is going to essentially, those are going to be items that you associate with UFO. If I have 10 people in a room, it's going to be 10 different things because each of those people had different life experiences. And each person is wired a particular way to give certain things more credibility than others. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you win that battle? How do you win the battle individually with all of these different people to show that this particular topic has credibility? You win it by not fighting it. You change the name. So there's no associations with UAP. It's a new term. It's a term. I don't think she just came up with the term, but the thought behind it is if we create a new term, then the people will have a harder time just associating items that would be typically associated with a UFO. There's no difference between the terms. I mean, outside of just the words, but what they're talking about, the phenomena itself, is exactly the same phenomena. She just doesn't want to get stuck on the UFO part. UAP. So the idea that she wanted somebody to ask this question, the idea that she did not shy away from answering this question, and the idea that she had a defined answer, ready and waiting. Not to mention, like I said, Podesta. I get the feeling that if she would have gotten office, she would have pushed through, or at the very least tried to get that information released. And look, it's not all that uncommon. I mean, Britain and France released their UFO files in addition to some other countries where the files were open. And in those countries, you could see where fighter pilots would be commissioned to go out and chase down craft, UFOs. You could talk to the pilots. They've had interviews with the pilots who was up there looking at these things in the sky, blown away by the mechanics. Would she have? Yes. Hell yes. I can't prove it. I don't know for certain, but I think there's enough evidence to say yes. Hillary Clinton was serious about opening those files. There's been pictures of her with UFO books. There's pictures of her, or there's, granted, and this is anecdotal evidence, but of her having conversations with certain people who are in the industry. And Podesta have had a slew of conversations. Again, even the Podesta emails themselves with people talking about the topic. So the second question, though, is a little bit more complicated. Should she have released that information? So let's start. Okay, so let's start from this position. What do you gain by releasing the information? And what is it going to cost to release that information? And when I say cost, I don't mean like how much money is it going to cost. I mean, what's the political fallout from releasing that information? Now, you can make a case, if you're being truly idealistic, well, the government shouldn't lie to its citizens, so at the very least that information should be released, because effectively the government has been lying for 80 years. That's probably where I was a few years ago. If you ask me now, I'm far more cynical. So, and I'll explain it in this way. Any objective look at the world would show it us to be, as a human species, is pretty embarrassing. We find that it is perfectly okay to create an economic system that gives some billions, and while other people starve. Half the country, half the world is in poverty, like dirt poverty. We're okay with that, though. We don't even consider them our issue, because from our standpoint, they're a different country. It doesn't matter that they're people. In fact, that matters less than making sure that we ourselves have a nice bed and have a bunch of money in the bank. My point is, our ability, our empathy is extraordinarily low. Think back to the number of wars we've had over the past 50 years. World War I cost, I think, 20 million people. World War II cost up to 50 million people. Korean War, Vietnam War, and you keep going. Hell, just a few years ago, we attacked a country, killed 1 million people, and destabilized an entire region of the world. Right now, at this very moment, you have refugees who are streaming into country after country in Europe. And you're having a backlash from those people streaming into Europe. So you would have like right-wing parties, like Brexit, even Trump to some degree, is this kind of backlash against what word I'm looking for? Metropolitanism. This thing of having all of these different people and races together. You're having a backlash. You have people who aren't prepared and who aren't ready for it. And those people react by putting right-wingers in office. They're terrified. They're absolutely terrified. And this is just different cultures. We haven't even gotten to the point of a different species. There was a study, I think it was a poll, it was a few years ago, I think it was in the Deep South. And they were asking people about racial marriage. And half of the people were like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that. I don't think these races should be intermingling. I know other people who say stuff like anything that comes from off the planet is a demon. We have so many issues as people. And we are so bad at trying to solve these issues, honestly. And to that mix, with adding another species, with adding the knowledge that another race, another civilization, maybe multiple civilizations, had set foot on this planet, hell, maybe even seeded life on this planet, how are those people going to respond? How are those scared, terrified people who can't even deal with the cultural difference of somebody who needs help? And again, I'm talking about the refugees at this point. How are those people going to deal with another race coming to this particular planet when they're already terrified of refugees who are fleeing a war zone with nothing but the clothes on their backs? No, I don't think she should have released that information. If she wants to leak it a little bit, kind of drip it, have at it. But the big reveal that I want, and I think the big reveal that a lot of people in the UFO field wants, is for the government to say, okay, we've been lying to you. Yes, they've visited us, we know they've been visiting us, and we know who they are. I don't think you're going to get that. And I think getting that would be such a paradigm shock that it would fundamentally destabilize at least this country. I mean, I would hope that other countries are a little bit more mature, but I don't live in those other countries. I live in this one. And based on what I've seen, people here would lose their damn minds. We have a country where there are more guns than people. And we're stunned that with more guns than people, there are like multiple death shootings every day. I'm stunned by it. Oh my God, we have a gun epidemic. Where are all these people getting shot by? They're amazed by it. My point is, we're bad at honestly dealing with information and to look at that information and make non-fear-based, to come to non-fear-based conclusions about that information. And if you tell people that there is another civilization that is far more superior to us, because they would have to be if they had the ability to get here, and you tell them that those people are in a ship around this planet, or you tell them that we've had some kind of contact, those people are going to lose their damn minds. If Hillary wanted to kind of just send me an email with that information, but should she come out and just open the files for everybody to see? Regrettably, no. I don't think we can take it. Well, at least I don't think they can take it. I think I'd be perfectly okay. Alright guys.